The competition.
It's the on-paper problem.
Yeah.
If you were just shopping by the spec sheet, sitting at your computer with the spreadsheet open, the Macan GTS looks like it's falling behind.
Hello, everyone. Before we dive in, hit like if you like our contents.
Today, we are looking at something really interesting.
Yeah, we really are. It's a vehicle that I think sits right at this weird intersection of sensible family hauler and midlife crisis track star. We are unpacking the 2026 Porsche Macan GTS.
It's a fascinating machine. The best way I've heard it described is like a sports car that woke up one morning trapped in a luxury compact crossover body.
I love that.
It's got the soul of a 911, but the backpack of an SUV.
That is such a vivid image.
Yeah.
It really paints this picture of a beast trying to burst out of a grocery getter. But here's the thing. This is a 2026 model year.
Right.
In the car world, that usually means we should be seeing massive overhauls.
So,
have we seen a massive redesign here? Are we looking at a totally new generation?
surprisingly, no, not at all. If you put the 2026 model next to one from a few years ago, you'd be playing a very, very hard game of spot the difference.
Really?
Yeah, there haven't been major updates recently, and that trend just continues right into 2026.
Okay, let's get right into that logic trap. Let's talk about what is under the hood. We're looking at a twin-turbo V6. Give me the numbers.
It's a 2.9-liter twin-turbo V6, and it pushes out 434 horsepower.
See, to me, 434 horsepower sounds like a lot. If you tell me my car has 434 horsepower, I'm thinking I've won the lottery. I'm the king of the road. But here is where it gets really interesting. When you look at the neighbors, the competition.
It's the on-paper problem.
Yeah.
If you were just shopping by the spec sheet, sitting at your computer with the spreadsheet open, the Macan GTS looks like it's falling behind.
How far by?
Just look at the rivals. You have the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio,
Which is a mouthful to say, but what's the number?
505 horsepower.
Okay, wow. That's a big number. And what about the BMW X3M competition?
503 horsepower.
So we're talking about a pretty significant deficit here. We're talking about a roughly 70 horsepower gap.
About that, yeah.
But 70 horsepower is 70 horsepower. Where does the Porsche make up for it?
It makes up for it in the corners. Despite the disadvantage in raw power, the Macan GTS is consistently described as the more accomplished option by people who actually drive these cars for a living.
But we still have to talk about speed, because 434 horsepower isn't slow. I don't want people thinking this thing is a Prius. How fast are we talking?
Oh, it's fast. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds.
3.7 seconds. In an SUV. That is just absurd.
It is undeniably fast. Anything under 4 seconds is supercar territory from, a decade or two ago. You will spill your coffee, you will scare your dog.
But, and this is the gotcha moment for me, let's look at the sibling rivalry. Because Porsche is famous for having a million different trim levels.
They are.
We have the GTS, but below that we have the Macan S.
Ah, yes, the Macan S, the middle child.
The slightly less powerful, significantly cheaper Macan S. Now brace yourselves, listeners. The Macan S does the same sprint to 60 inches. 3.8 seconds.
Right.
3.7 seconds for the GTS. 3.8 for the S. We are talking about 1/10 of a second.
It raises a really important question about value perception. I mean, can you actually feel 0.1 seconds?
I don't think I can blink in 0.1 seconds. If I sneeze, I miss it.
You definitely cannot feel it. So if you're buying the GTS strictly for straight line acceleration over the S model, you are effectively lighting money on fire.
You really are.
For some, yeah, status is a real thing, but for the enthusiast, the value of the GTS badge comes from the other stuff. It's that suspension tuning we talked about. The GTS usually sits a little lower. It has bigger brake standard. It has the active exhaust that sounds meaner. You're paying for the drama and the cornering capability, not just the 0.1 second on the drag strip.
Okay, so you're paying for the vibe, the attitude.
The attitude and the engineering that supports it.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. We've been talking about value. What does it cost to get into a 2026 Macan GTS?
Brace yourself. The starting price is $96,450.
Nearly 100 grand.
Yeah.
For a compact crossover. That is a lot of money.
I mean, that is before options. And as we know, nobody leaves a Porsche dealership without options.
Right. Buying a base model Porsche is like finding a unicorn. It just doesn't happen. We'll get to the options in a minute because that's a whole other rabbit hole. But for nearly 100 grand, surely the interior is like a palace, right?
And it must be.
Lined with unicorn fur and gold leaf.
Now, this is where we hit a bit of a snag. The feedback on the interior is mixed. The entry-level Macans, the 4-cylinders, they can feel a little Spartan, a little plain. Now, the GTS does fix some of that because it's the top dog.
So what do you get for the GPS money inside?
You get leather upholstery, some nice aluminum trim, and heated front seats. It definitely elevates the cabin. It feels premium, feels really well built.
I hear a massive butt coming.
But if we compare it to the current market, specifically, look at the Genesis GV70.
Genesis is killing it with interiors lately. They look like Bentleys inside.
They do, and the consensus is pretty blunt. If you are seeking a plusher cabin, the Genesis is vastly more appealing.
Right.
The Genesis has quilted leather, massive 3D screens, crystal shifter knobs. It's trying to be a living room. The Macan isn't trying to be a living room.
What's it trying to be?
It aims for maximum fun. It's a cockpit.
So the interior is designed for the driver, not for the passenger who wants to take a nap.
Precisely. The controls are well placed. The outward visibility is excellent, which is rare these days. The driving position is perfect. You sit in the car, not on it. It's focused, but it's not luxury in that traditional soft, pillowy sense.
Right.
If you want a pillow, buy the Genesis or a Mercedes. You want to drive, you sit in the Porsche.
Okay, so if I want my GTS to actually feel like a $100,000 luxury car, what do I have to order? What is the must-have package?
Most experts point specifically to the Premium Plus package.
And what's in that?
That gets you the panoramic sunroof, which really opens up the cabin, the heated and ventilated 14-way adjustable front seats, and the 14-speaker Bose stereo system.
Can we just pause on ventilated seats for a second?
Sure.
It is 2026. How are ventilated seats not standard on a car that costs almost 6 figures? You can get those on a Hyundai Elantra.
It's the Porsche way. They know you want it, so they know you'll pay for it.
That hurts. But okay, let's look at the tech. Is it all bad news? Is there anything standard that actually helps me out?
It's not all bad news, no. Standard equipment includes Apple CarPlay, a wireless charging pad, USB ports, and 12-volt outlets pretty much everywhere. So keeping devices charged isn't an issue.
And I read something about Wi-Fi.
Yes, a standard mobile Wi-Fi package is on board, so the family data plan might actually escape a road trip unscathed.
Let's go back to the audio for a second. You mentioned the Bose system in that package.
Right.
The cost of audio upgrades in this car is, well, it's eye-opening. Some surprising facts here. So
Okay.
the Bose system.
If you buy it standalone, it adds $990.
Which, okay, roughly $1,000 for good sound. I can kind of justify that. But there's another level, right? For the true audiophiles.
The Burmester option.
And how much is that?
The price tag is a whopping $5,690.
$5,690
Yeah.
for a stereo? That's a used Honda Civic. That's a trip to Europe.
It is an immense amount of money, but we have to clarify what Burmester is. This isn't just speakers. This is high-end German audio engineering. We're talking about a system that is usually found in, like, million-dollar Bugattis or top-tier Mercedes S-Class limos.
So it's a statement piece.
Well, let's start with the wallet pain. Fuel economy is about what you'd expect for a 434 horsepower twin-turbo V6 that encourages you to drive fast.
Bad.
EPA estimates are 17 miles per gallon in the city and 22 on the highway.
Ouch. 17 in the city. So you will be on a first-name basis with your local gas station attendant.
Definitely. This is not an economy car.
So what does this all mean? We've looked at the engine, the price, the interior, the crazy stereo options, and the practicality.
It's a study in trade-offs.
It really is. On one hand, you are paying nearly $100,000. Let's not forget that number. For that money, you are getting less power than a BMW X3M. You're getting a cabin that's less plush than a Genesis GV70.
And you are getting a car that is barely faster, literally 0.1 seconds, than its own cheaper sibling, the Macan S.
Right. On paper, if you are a robot, this car makes 0 sense.
But on the road, that's the differentiator. You are buying the handling, you're buying the chassis tuning, you are buying a crossover that genuinely feels like a sports car. You are buying the fact that when you turn the wheel, the car talks back to you.
It's for the person who cares more about how the steering wheel feels in their hands than how many horsepower numbers they can recite to their friends at a bar.
Exactly. It's a driver's SUV with all the irrationality that implies.
I want to leave everyone with the final provocative thought here. We talked about that 0.1 second difference between the Macan S and the GTS. And we talked about the $96,000 price tag versus the cheaper S.
Where are you going with this?
If the Macan S is effectively just as fast in the real world, And if you can option the S to have most of the nice stuff.
Yeah.
Is the GTS badge a status symbol about performance? Or is it just about vanity? Are we paying that extra premium just to have the most expensive badge on the back of the car so people know we spent the money?
That is the ultimate question. Performance versus perception. Are you a driver or are you a display case?
Ooh. Harsh but true. It's something to think about if you're ever in the lucky position to be building one of these on the website. Maybe drive the S first and see if your ego can handle saving the money.
It's a test of character as much as a test of finances.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have time for today on this deep dive into the 2026 Porsche Macan GTS. It's irrational, it's expensive, and it's wonderful.
Stay tuned for more automotive news, and goodbye.